An American Trilogy, Part 2, The Waco Siege, a story of faith, fire, and tragedy. In the sun-drenched heart of Texas, amid the rolling plains and wide-open skies, stood the Mount Carmel Center, a beacon of spiritual sanctuary for the devoted followers of David Koresh. Born Vernon Wayne Howell, Koresh emerged as a charismatic leader whose fervent beliefs and prophetic visions drew a devoted flock seeking solace and salvation. Koresh, a man of intense spiritual conviction, envisioned himself as a harbinger of divine truth, destined to unravel the mysteries of the 7 seals foretold in the Book of Revelation. His teachings, imbued with apocalyptic urgency, wove together a tapestry of hope and fear, promising redemption amidst impending tribulation. To his followers, he was a guiding light, a shepherd leading his flock through the tempestuous seas of earthly existence toward the shores of heavenly grace. Yet, the path Koresh tread was fraught with peril. The Mount Carmel community, with its unconventional practices and stockpiling of arms, aroused the suspicion of the federal authorities. Whispers of child abuse, polygamy, and illicit weaponry swirled like dark clouds, casting a shadow over the sunlit compound. In February 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, set its sights on the Branch Davidian compound, planning a raid to serve warrants for alleged firearms violations. The die was cast, and the forces of government converged upon the tranquil enclave, setting the stage for a confrontation that would soon escalate beyond all reckoning. The die was cast, and the forces of government converged upon the tranquil enclave, setting the stage for a confrontation that would soon escalate beyond all reckoning. The morning of February 28th dawned with a deceptive calm, shattered by the cacophony of gunfire. The ATF, intent on enforcing the law, clashed with the resolute defenders of Mount Carmel. What was intended as a swift operation spiraled into a deadly firefight, leaving 4 federal agents and 6 Branch Davidians dead. The compound, once a haven of peace, now bore the scars of violence and tragedy. As the world watched in stunned silence, the siege began. The FBI's hostage rescue team assumed control, encircling the compound with an unyielding cordon of armored vehicles and tactical units. Negotiations commenced, fraught with mistrust and the looming specter of further bloodshed. Inside, Koresh and his followers clung to their faith, interpreting the siege as a fulfillment of prophecy, a test of their unwavering devotion. For 51 days, the standoff persisted, a grim tableau of endurance and defiance. Within the compound's walls, the Branch Davidians endured the psychological toll of isolation, the strains of dwindling supplies, and the relentless psychological warfare waged by the besieging forces. Loudspeakers blared, lights flickered, and the air vibrated with the tension of impending doom. Koresh, wounded but resolute, continued to preach and prophesize, his voice a beacon of hope for his beleaguered followers. To them, he was not merely a leader, but a martyr in the making, steadfast in the face of overwhelming odds. Each day of the siege was a crucible, forging their faith in the fires of tribulation as they awaited deliverance, whether by divine intervention or martyrdom. April 19th, 1993, dawned as the day of reckoning. The FBI, weary of the prolonged standoff and fearing for the lives of those within, launched a final assault. Tear gas canisters were deployed, breaching the compound's defenses in a desperate bid to end the siege without further bloodshed. But fate had scripted a darker climax. Flames erupted within Mount Carmel, consuming the wooden structure in a ferocious inferno. The fire, whether born of accident, despair, or design spread with merciless speed, engulfing the compound in a deadly embrace. In the searing heat of that tragic day, 76 Branch Davidians, including Koresh, perished, their lives extinguished in a blaze of apocalyptic finality. In the aftermath, the charred remnants of Mount Carmel stood as a somber monument to a tragedy that defied simple explanation. The world, shocked and bewildered, grappled with the enormity of the loss and the complexities of blame. Was Koresh a deluded zealot or a misunderstood visionary? Were the actions of the government justified or a catastrophic overreach? These questions lingered, unanswered, in the smoky aftermath. To his followers, David Koresh remained a martyr, a figure whose life and death were woven into the fabric of their faith. His teachings, his sacrifice, became a poignant testament to the struggle for spiritual freedom against the encroachments of worldly authority. The Waco siege, steeped in sorrow and enigma, left an indelible mark on the collective conscience. It stood as a harrowing reminder of the fraught intersection between religious freedom and governmental force, a cautionary tale of the devastating consequences of government overreach and heavy-handed tactics. In the years that followed, inquiries and investigations sought to unravel the tangled threads of that fateful confrontation. Debates raged, lessons were pondered, yet the scars remained, a testament to the human cost of conflict and the fragile nature of understanding. In the years that followed, inquiries and investigations sought to unravel the tangled threads of that fateful confrontation. Thus, the tale of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians, cloaked in tragedy and reverence, endures as a somber chapter in the annals of history. It is a story of faith and fire, of conviction and consequence, echoing through the corridors of time as a dramatic and poignant reminder of the complexities of the human spirit and wrath of wounded government egos.